expect that #2 team coming to this tournament. So for Los Grandes, hopefully they can build upon that, and hopefully they can get something going. They also did lose to Keed by the same scoreline of 16-12 on Nuke. So it's a 50-50 shot for them, I guess. Quite literally 50-50 in terms of win rate. And we'll see if they can stand tall here on this map pick. This is such a good map for 9Z. 84.2% win rate, 16-3. It's just absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, and if you're a Los Grandes fan, at this point you're hoping for the dark horse buff, is what I'll call it. The lack of maps played and just the overall unknownness of a new team. That's going to be your main strength here, I think. And let's hope that gives them a whole lot of strength.
We'll see what kind of strength they can muster. Can they be the big ones in this game? Can they stand tall? Kaike up close and personal out towards Venge. Blind and runs into try. Gets him from the side. And he'll take down Max. Tucks into Asian. But Landon's found Bit as well. Pistol round looking the way of Los Grandes. And with Kai dropping rocks, it's all down to DGT. He might manage one and he will do just that. But can he get anything further? Bomb is down far away. And the round is almost farther out of reach than the objective itself.
Yep, at this point, DGT wants to shake their confidence as much as he can at convincing 4 kills to go unanswered. That is a big boost to the morale of Los Grandes early on. If 9Z DGT can shake that with another kill or two, maybe even grabbing the bomb for a plant, that would be big for the team. But realistically, what can we really ask for? Maybe a one and done. There we go, Tatazine taken down, but there is a Vice closing very quickly with this flank coming in from Landon. Is DGT ready? Yes, he is. Oh, the duel is awkward. Landon, does he win it? Yes, he does. He will recover. There will only be 2 kills the way of DGT, but he was given quite a bit of room to work with there.
He was given too much room almost. He almost made that possible. Spots the shadow there of Landon, but Landon's still able to deliver that one. Los Grandes, that's a critical pistol round. That is one of the most important rounds for them of this series. You get out of the gate early, you get it under your belt. You deny that bomb plan, most importantly, too. You're not going to let 9Z get a force buy into this round with rifles and utility. Instead, it's Glocks, a Deagle, and a P250. Not one piece of utility. And Los Grandes should be getting a 2-0 start at the very least to kick off this map of Nuke. And then, again, they have no more racetrack, or else they'll be down to the lower bracket. They have to win this map. There is no other option.
No other option. Backs against the wall quite literally to stay up here. So, a lot of pressure early on, especially on Nuke. The CT side, very important to start with your best foot forward. They've done well to find the pistol, but they have to continue to win. They cannot turn back, and they cannot give anything to 9Z, because a seasoned veteran team like this will make an inch a mile.
That's the thing, and we've already seen Los Grandes be successful with a pistol buy similar to this. 9Z are trying to return the favor. But Landon's got some information on the outer yard walk. Seems like there's somebody out towards top front as well. Tazine's gonna get 1 and 2 on the MP9. He's quite low, but Landon's got another. Try picks up 1, but only 1. Small consolation for 9Z, as Los Grandes will wipe that one away. Rifles coming out for the T side now. Galil for Bit, and perhaps for DGT as well if he wants a little more utility, although I want that guy on a rifle, seeing what he was, or an AK I should say, seeing what he was capable of on Inferno. He will go for the Kalashnikov, and you definitely want him with that one-shot headshot capability.
Yes, you do. Now, last map, it was a slugfest until we really got into the rifle round cemented in there. So, 9Z, they have rifles on hand. This is where you would expect them to maybe pull away with it like they did in map 1, but only time will tell. This is a relatively CT-sided affair. Let's see how 9Z adapt to their T side. Straight down the vent, straight away. This is what I call the inside man. DGT down immediately. Max down secret as well. This is a lot of control very early for 9Z. Kaike will clear it. Good pre-fire as well. That's a massive kill to find onto the heavy hitter of 9Z in map number 1. And Kaike has information on a second as well. He surely spotted the foot there of Max.
And if 9Z, or rather Los Grandes, are able to take away this round, it's going to put 9Z in a bit of a rough spot. They're going to be broke again. Los Grandes would win the bonus round, and that would set them up quite nicely to keep on pushing forward on this must-win map of Nuke for them. Kai's going to do a bit of damage, take a bit as well. He'll go back, but he splits the goalpost on that one. And unfortunately, in Counter-Strike, you want to hit the iron. You don't want to go between the woodwork. Tatazine in towards Radio, looking to control this take, looking to shut down whatever 9Z have to throw at them. Molotov in towards double from 9Z, but Tatazine has gone uncovered, uncleared, and he's got two! Trays it back, and he sprays down Tatazine as well, looking to get another going forward. Bomb is on his back, and Max is holding his back as well. Down the ladder goes Moth in a 1v2. Max is holding, and Max will deliver. It's Try with 3, Max with 2, and 9Z crack open Los Grandes, break open that goose egg, and win an incredibly good clutch-up round from those two players.
Massive win to get them on the board early on for the T-side instrumentally here. Very important on the T-side to get as many rounds as you can, and that is a very solid start on that first rifle round. Los Grandes, though, will not back down. Tatazine, the only one saving any sort of money in the bank. Everybody else is fully invested. The buy is shambolic, but, you know, on the CT side of Nuke, if you play your cards right, you could still find success with these weapons.
Moth takes a lot of initial damage, though. Landon down to 75 as well, but he's still aggressive outer yard. Max is running by him. He's in the smoke, and he's gone unnoticed. Landon, how much damage can he do? He gets caught by Max. I believe he was spotted by Silo, and Max is going to drop Kaike down to 49. DGT will finish from his position out towards Squeaky Door. Bit will get caught from behind, though. Tatazine, lurking around credit cards and Unbreakable, will pick up the next, but it's still a 4v3 in the favor of 9Z. Out towards Heaven, there is one, that is Kai, and it's going to be an A hit coming in here from 9Z. Moth up close and personal, 5-7 can find a head, find a frag. The gun shows, but DGT is not deterred. He continues to forge forward. Kai from back silo has one big kill, needs another, and he needs 3 now, as he's the only player alive. But Try will shut them down, and 9Z tie things up in the early going, stealing the momentum back from Los Grandes.
Yes, they do. 9Z, though, important to know here that this could come to bite them a little bit later. That's the second round in a row where Tatazine has gone uncleared. He's found at least one, whether it was in towards the control room towards B, and specifically towards credit card in that last round with the MP9. So if he can continue to find that impact, that one kill and get away with it, that might be a thorn in the side of 9Z going forward, I should say. There we go.
Yeah, that definitely would be a big thorn on their side, but 9Z don't seem to really be troubled by much. They faced some adversity. They faced losing big rounds to Pistols already on Inferno, and they never got rattled. And that was the pick of their opponent. This is 9Z's map. This is their home. This is where they have the most comfort out of anything. Now it's just a matter of getting some confidence built off of these eco frags. You don't necessarily have to hunt these either. You could very well just let them live. But at the very least in the MAC-10, and it's going to be a trade there for Rocks. Moth is very low. Rocks and actually went 3 kills for Los Grandes, all in the span of about a moment. This is why you don't hunt pistols, folks. It can give rifles over to your opposition. Landon's going to try and save an AK, and that is a donation that 9Z needed to avoid giving.
Yep, and Landon, he's coming alive in this map. Already has 5 kills to his name. I think he had 4 in the later stages of Inferno. So, if he can come alive, maybe Los Grandes have something to work with here on their opponent's map pick. 9Z, they do win the round at the end, but as you mentioned, it was a pistol buy, and that round was still very costly for this T-side. We've been accustomed to seeing 9Z win those convincing, flawless victories against pistols. That was a very different in that last round.
That was incredibly different, and a little overzealous from 9Z. You give that AK over to the CT side. It's going to be a big boon for them, although it's not dropped over. Landon, I guess he needs the utility and everything, but still, he could have dropped that AK over to get an op in his hands potentially. But it looks like Los Grandes are going to have to go 5 rifles. They've spent through quite a bit of utility. Kai's emptied his belt. We're at a minute 33. And Tatazine's limited to only 1 flash as well. It's a very aggressive utility spam from Los Grandes early. And without that late round utility to ward off these pushes, things can get very messy for them. You look over at 9Z, plenty of Molotovs, 3 to be exact, a plethora of flashes, only 1 smoke. But I don't think they really care too much for the smoke snake. They like to flash in and they like to frag out.
Yes, they do. Los Grandes, it's been a theme. It happened on Inferno as well. They used their utility early. Moth got the information there, and that could be exactly what they need, though. Trade back from Landon to drop Rocks. It's still an advantage sitting with Los Grandes. And 9Z haven't made their way out into the site. In fact, I think they've dropped the bomb. Max does find a timing onto one player. Good swing. And Moth is still here to hold things down. And again, they have that bomb, as I mentioned before. DGT, though, doing his best with the heroics. He'll find a second that he knows there's a player looking behind him as well. Max drops Kai. Suddenly, the T-side had the advantage. Max finds the final kill. 9Z, it looked dicey, especially with the way they lost the bomb, and yet they still pull it out in the end. The experience to check their flanks and to hold things down and to maintain their nerve under pressure gets them through it.
This is what happens when your team has had the same roster for over a year. This is just showing how well they know each other. That combo play between Max and DGT was impeccable. Max takes that first contact, great bait swing as well, onto Moth on top of Hut. And then Max takes the second point of contact, but he falls away and allows DGT to get that next kill. That's a great bit of coordination that really, at that point, goes uncalmed. That's just knowing how your team's playing and knowing how to play around each other and your movements. And now 9Z, you're going to get that open. Wait, why does Landon have an op here?
I was just going to ask. That's why I was going to interrupt you. I'm wondering why he has an op. He's brought it out as has Try, but the thing is, the team buys are not the same. Landon's team is on a half buy. He will find success with the op in the early goings to tie things up, but again, a full investment into an op when your team's on a half buy is very odd.
It's incredibly strange, especially since you have no more money left in the tank. But if he can make things work, then maybe this is the Hail Mary play that Los Grandes needed. 4v4, thanks in part to Landon's op kill. Moth up on Tetris is going to let them down the vents, however. Wait, Try! He's stuck! He's stuck! He's stuck in the smoke! And he has the bomb! This is incredibly unlucky! His knife is out! He's trying to get down! And he's caught by Landon! That Dazine picks up the op, but Rox is there to trade! 3v3! But Landon's putting in work right now for Los Grandes! Moth with the deagle drops Rox! And the bomb is at his feet, an AK upgrade as well. Max and DGT, the dynamic duo from the previous round, looking to make another round happen for 9Z, but the time is far ticked away, and Landon's got a third on the AWP. Max spots out one, his spray is uncontrolled, and he does get one, but it is very costly. Moth will swing for the trade, and Landon's up, and Moth's heroics will scrape away the round.
Trust the process. That's all I took away from that round. Landon brought out the op for a reason, and he looks much more comfortable here on Nuke as well, as opposed to Inferno, which I'm delighted to see. 2 kills for him in that round, if I'm not mistaken. 115 ADR from him as well. He's the top for his team right now, and he's already found more success than on Inferno. So Los Grandes maybe turning a new leaf here in the mid stages of half number 1.
They're definitely looking very good so far here on Nuke. About a 60.7% win rate on their CT sides in the 2 matches they've played. It's the T side where they struggle, just under 40% of a win rate. But 9Z still do have the advantage. They've already put 4 on the board. However, Landon's heating up, and he can be huge for this Los Grandes side. I'm not so sure what that drop from heaven was, but it does take him down a little bit. Rox and Try opening up the site. Tatazine only able to get 1. It's Rox with a double entry. Landon's gone, and so is Kaike. It's all down to Kai, and he needs to save. The money for his squad is destitute, and he has the 1 lone gun to be saved here. I'm sure Try will try and get the op of Landon at some point, unless they want to roll 5 rifles. But right now, 9Z, they give Los Grandes a little bit of room to breathe. They give them an inch. And 9Z swing back in, drop a punch right on the draw, and knock him down to the mat.
Yeah, and we are seeing Los Grandes praises right now because they have won quite a few rounds. They're showing us they have the building blocks, but again, this map is rather CT-sided. Now, Kai has done well to find a couple exits, but he won't survive, and that was critical for his team going into the next one. 9Z take the lead, or they further the lead, I should say, to 2 rounds, and they're looking very good. At this point, I would say you're okay with 5 or 6 rounds on your T side of Nuke.
Oh yeah, 5 or 6. I think 6 is probably where you want to sit if you are 9Z. But again, the thing is, the possibilities are endless, much like Inferno. This game has actually started very similarly to Inferno, except Los Grandes got out to an elite instead of just playing from behind the whole time. But 9Z and Los Grandes very even in the early going, but once the guns come out, you start to see the gap in skill, at least in the very least, in terms of strategy and cohesiveness. But Kaike and Moth, it's the pistols picking up 2! Try trades 1 back as they look to go down the secret tunnels. AK for Moth. And down, wait, are 9Z going to try the outside wrap towards Hell? I think they are.
I don't think they've really tried it yet. It could catch the pistols out. It is a good idea to try to switch things up, catch your opponents off, especially when you're on the back foot. It is a little bit risky. Max, though, he has a lot of room to work with, and I think there are some players on the A side that he can pick from above.
They're very spread out. There's a lot of time, but they're very spread out. There's no trade potential for 9Z right now. And against the pistols, you have to be very concerned. As well as the fact that there's an AK now in the hands of Moth, which you have to assume at least one player has an upgraded weapon. And C goes Datazine, and down he falls, but does Max expect the second? Landon's not peeked, Landon's not popped, and Kai's taking contact. Max has the idea somebody's coming from trophy room, but he goes back down to check his ramp, spots out one, goes for the Molotov. Landon pops at the right possible time. Almost a little too late, but in the meantime, 9Z have crept down towards B. Bomb plant right in the middle of the site. Rox is going to close the gap with his MAC-10 as he should. But there's only no armor on Landon, and he'll toss that AK over to Kai. In comes a push. MAC-10 singing. It's doing a lot of damage, and they know where Rox is now, but Try is still here for the cleanup 1v3. Very difficult. In comes Utility. Try's got the first. That's the unarmored Landon. Kai is low. Moth is full. Moth swings. It's a double, and he will not even catch one. Los Grandes strike back again. Get a fourth on the board. And 9Z with the bomb plant can buy again. But things are not as smooth as they were on Inferno.
They are not. Los Grandes are doing well. They're punching up. And I must say, a second pistol round one. I guess technically the pistol round before Landon did have an op. So it wasn't really a pistol round, but I would still say for all intents and purposes it was. Landon again bringing out the op. Don't think there will be one to match him on the T side either, so he'll have a significant advantage outside. And 9Z will go for the investment, as you mentioned, but it is compromised. MAC-10 and Galil for Rox and Try, far from ideal.
It is not exactly the best round. The lack of utility really sticks out as a sore thumb to me. And one thing's for sure, Los Grandes are definitely a lot more confident on Nuke. It's almost like they should have picked Nuke against 9Z, which is a crazy thing to say when you consider how good this 9Z roster is on this very map. But Landon has been so impactful for Los Grandes, who's an absent character on Inferno. Now a flash comes in, but Kaike's blindsided by Bit, and that's a massive opening kill for 9Z. That's an upgrade to an M4 instead of a Galil, and the A1S is so powerful nowadays. And DGT still lurking in towards lobby. Kai swings for one, but he cannot convert onto a second. DGT goes down for free. Big pickup by Moth into the 3v3, and Landon still holding on to ramp with the AWP. This is big for Los Grandes. And he's going to headshot Max too. Beautiful shot. Molotov forces him away. Bomb plant can come through here for 9Z if they hurry.
I would have done Molotov him away, but Landon, he secured the advantage. He can even wait for the retake, but he's more than confident at this point. He is feeling it, and I'm very happy to see that. Landon, can you find more? That's the question. Moth is here to support as well. A lot riding on Rox and Try here. Again, their team invested everything into this round, as has Los Grandes to an extent. Two or three-fifths of them have. Yeah, this is a swing round. So, a lot of pressure. Moth up close, can't win it. Landon knows quick on the trade. 1 versus 2 now for Try. Can he win it? He finds the first. That's the offer. The pesky player taken down, but he throws a second coming through the door. Smoke on the bomb. Tatazine's got to stick it. Taps come in from Try, though, and that will be enough to close it out. It is 9Z to rein things in with the clutch from Try. 6-4. But Los Grandes are making sure these rounds are expensive and down to the wire.
Down to the wire, expensive, but that economic battle does tend to tide against the CT side. And that's exactly where Los Grandes are now. While they might be coming in close, they are failing to get that cigar, Nate. It's 9Z looking to get that one in their pocket. But Los Grandes, they forced up again. M4's on 3, CZ for Tatazine, and Landon has an MP9. Utility light, in comes a fast play from 9Z. Rocks with the opener onto the CZ, and now with Moth falling back, Silo gets even more difficult. Kai tries to go on the crunch, but look at this damage dealt. 2, 16, 10 HP. Landon has an MP9. This is doable, but will he go for it? That's the question, because if he does, there's a very legitimate chance he can pull this off.
He doesn't know how low they are, though. And that means he's already transitioned to what appears to be an exit strategy. He's going towards the trophy room. There is a rifle there that he can recover. There's a lot of players around. As you can tell, spam already coming through. 9Z, they aren't hunting. They're all trying to get out so they don't die to the bomb. In fact, he could have just entered into the site, theoretically, and found something of it if he had a kit, which there's one right in front of him. So there was a brief opportunity. But again, this is all from the benefit of X-ray vision, from the benefit of seeing the HPs. Landon doesn't have that luxury. And so it is understandable. And in fact, probably the right call to save this rifle.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely the right call, actually. 9Z, 7. Again, looking very comfortable. More than happy at this point with the number of rounds gained. But let's see if they can't get a few more.
I was just saying that from the point of view of knowing what we know. Is that he doesn't know that this is so winnable. That's the thing. It's heartbreaking for him. Because that could have kept them within a solid gap. Kept 9Z limited to 6 rounds. But it's just that information that you don't know in the heat of the moment. And that's the way the game's designed. You're not supposed to know how much HP your opponents have. Makes it all the more exciting. And Landon, he'll have to save the M4 and be the hero rifler in this round for Los Grandes. He's going to take his fight towards the outer yard. Up on top, though, it's Max. And he'll take one M4 for the other. And the opening kill, plus the big player, is gone in the favor of 9Z.
Hero plate has to come through for the rifle, but the fact that he's so isolated, no one else can recover that weapon now. That is a huge loss early on, and now it's just pistols. They should be light work for the likes of 9Z. Rox finds one. Could be expected to find more as well here, as the CZs will just have to try and peek into this pixel angle.
Rox doesn't even need to aggress either. He should wait for teammates to group up. If he does so, does not want to donate an extra rifle over to Los Grandes. He's going to peek into Moth, though. Moth will actually aggress onto him. Hits the headshot with a CZ. If that's a 5-7, Moth is dead. But it is the automatic pistol. And now it's only 2 left for Los Grandes, Tatazin and Kaike. Kaike holding with a deagle, looking to find something from back silo. Spots out bit, but the deagle spam will not connect. And Tatazin, what can he do in a 1v5 with a CZ? There's not much hope for him. I think a kill would be more than conciliatory. And at this point, he's just looking for something to spark a bit of life.
He can't even go get the rifle. We have a player puppy guarding it. Max back behind that storage container in the yard. Tatazine at this point exits. Maybe recover a rifle from a fallen player that you'd have to take down. You can't get that one outside. So really not much you can do here. And it doesn't look like 9Z are too eager to hunt either.
No, they're not. They're very reserved here, which is as they should be. They almost got burned going for the hunts against pistols already. They've learned from that mistake. They've learned that Los Grandes, he might have beaten them 16-5 on Inferno. Nuke is a completely different animal, and while the score may be growing in the favor of 9Z, you cannot underestimate what Los Grandes are capable of on this map. They seem a lot more comfortable here on Nuke. And again, you cannot allow them any bit of momentum. They are the Dark Horse. They are the underdog. And when you give the underdog life, there's no telling what they are going to be capable of.
Yeah. And I must say I'm very pleasantly surprised by what Los Grandes has done. Even in their brief amount of time together, they've looked quite good. And here on Nuke is no different. This is a map that I didn't expect them to have anything prepared on. I expected their map pool to be suffering, but it's far from it. They've shown us that they have something prepared, and they are ready to grow as a team.
Yeah, a lot of good bones for this team, and a lot of good potential. And if Landon can keep performing like this, that makes things even better for Los Grandes. That's a big opening pick onto Max.
Yep, Landon was a question mark for me, especially after the first map. I'm glad to see that he is more than carrying his weight here as the op. I'd love to see him move around a bit more, but again, early stages of the team, do what you're comfortable with. That's what's most important. No matter what, you're getting valuable experience out of this.
Yeah, that's the thing. For Los Grandes, they've been together for a month and they're in the closed qualifier for ESL Anaheim. That is no small feat whatsoever, and that cannot be understated. And again, they still have another match today, regardless of whether they win or lose. So, for Los Grandes, there's still a second chance. There's still a chance for some revenge, perhaps, too, if they make their way to the lower bracket. Kai, he's going to be faced first. Now a 2-minute advantage for Los Grandes. He'll fall away, toss the Molotov as a parting gift. DGT lurking out towards lobby, waiting for someone to get aggressive. That the Zine might go for the push, but he's not going to go for it yet. Landon's holding him through Hut. DGT, the next victim. And Los Grandes, they've done so much before that Moth take. They've taken no damage whatsoever. And it's going to be a flawless victory for the side of Los Grandes. Landon again is their catalyst. And the rest of the squad winning their duels as they need to.
Yep, a 3K on the op, and I mentioned it literally in the round. I said, maybe move it around a little bit. He got to hut. He went from outside to hut in that round alone. Exactly what I want to see. Exemplary from Landon. And his KD, just his kills even, bear out that fact. 15, top of his team, and I think top of the server, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, even out-fragging the likes of Try on the T side. So, Masquerades, very well done thus far. They've made this entertaining. Can they bring it to a very tight 8-7 scoreline?
If they can get this to 8-7, there's a very legitimate chance they can pull this off. Again, it's that underdog mentality, that giant killing mentality. You just never give up. You go with whatever will you have, and you throw everything at your opposition. And the closer they get, the stronger Los Grandes will get. The more confident they'll play. The better their communication will be. The more accurate their shots are going to connect. So for 9Z right now, you need a big response. You need to shut them down again. You need to isolate these rounds between big wins for your squad. Try and DGT getting the 2 opening kills is going to be a huge start for 9Z to keep Los Grandes from growing into that underdog menace that any underdog has the potential of being, especially one of this capable caliber. But now with Kaike falling to Kai and Landon are walled out. Nice return from Landon, but is this one too far gone?
Feels like
yes, it is.
Yeah. And 9Z always spread out. They always have somebody outside. It is Max to find that kill on the player coming up secret. Landon the Opera, no real choice at this point. They know where he was. That was towards the trophy room. And, well, he has no choice but to really try and save this op. But it seems like 9Z want to hunt him down. They want to show the force, right? They want to take this op out of his hands. And they want to prevent Los Grandes from building up any confidence or any momentum. Landon, oh, that's a shot. That just doesn't quite land. And now he's kind of on the back foot. He's running around so many angles to watch. And, well, this is not a favorable area for the op. He does get the tag, but not the frag. It is Max instead to win it. Only getting tagged down to 15 instead. 9Z clap back. That's exactly what we wanted to see from the veteran squad. And they almost have double digits here in the first half.
If they can get double digits out of this T half of Nuke, you almost have to say it's curtains for Los Grandes. But I'm expecting another big round here from Los Grandes. They've really impressed me on Nuke so far. Their resiliency has been incredible. And their ability to find rounds after being walled out is definitely something to be admired. In towards the A, fast play. DGT actually trying to go for the vent dive. He is going to get down safely, but they know he's down. They know there's a snake in the grass, and Kai's already on the hunt for him. DGT's just waiting, Landon out towards Secret Tunnel. Waiting for players to walk into his position. The Molotov won't go deep enough, and he's going to get a pre-opening kill. Molotov does follow up. His smoke will allow him cover, though. While he might be tagged down low, he's still able to escape. Kaike! That is belabored to the extreme, but it's a kill on the rocks and a man advantage, a double man advantage retained for Los Grandes.
Famas in the absent DMR role, I see. Tap, tap, taparoo gets it done. Trades come through, but Los Grandes, they built a lead and they maintain it with such a trade. 2 versus 4. DGT, the inside man, last alive. Landon should know he's here. Landon, that's a nice pair of kills to mop it up. 19 kills for him in the half and a 9-6 score line in favor of 9Z.
Nine Z do take the lead out of that first half, but it is anything but a wide margin separating these two sides. Although if you're Los Grandes, you would rather have gotten those 6 rounds on your T side rather than having to get the bulk on the offense. But still, good showing and good responses from Los Grandes as a whole, especially after losing their map pick by such a good margin. I'm Boggs, joined by Pineapple Phillips. Nate, this pistol round is where it all hangs in the balance for Los Grandes.
Yes, momentum. Okay. Well, talk about momentum. That's
bomb.
kind of shattering. Rox has the bomb. He has a knife kill to add insult to injury. And while the last two players have all been spotted, DGT finds one. Max as well chimes in. It's well read by 9Z. That leaves Moth on 15 HP. And not even a dream. It's DGT to close out the round. We said it was going to rely on the pistol. Before we can even give our thoughts on it, we see a knife kill. The bomb dropped with a second that goes unanswered. Then a swift mop-up, I should say, towards the ramp there. Los Grandes. Unfortunate.
That is about as unlucky as you can get. And for 9Z, imagine the confidence boost from that vent hold. The knife kill plus the follow-up. The bomb went down first. And look at that. Look what Tri has on round number 2, Nate.
Oh my. Well, this is about mind games at this point, I'd say. 9Z are ready to play them to try to mop up map 2 as quickly as possible. They let Los Grandes have their fun in half number 1, but half number 2 is where 9Z want to cement themselves as the better squad.
Yeah, they do have a very strong CT record, 62.4%, but Max is a blind one, is gonna fall. Kaike with 2, Tatazine with 1. It's a triple entry onto the A site, but now they're gonna go down towards B. Bit's got one trade onto Kaike, the lone lurker. I do like this rotate down for Los Grandes, and I'm getting flashbacks to Inferno. I'm getting flashbacks to how that T second round and third round went for Los Grandes. Bit and DGT might try and retake this, although I think Bit's just going to save the op. There's no reason to throw the op into the hands of Landon, especially the way he's playing right now, leading the server in terms of kills, and being incredibly impactful for Los Grandes in that first half. It's going to be the save call from 9Z, and what a response from Los Grandes.
Was a big response indeed. This is not what I expected. We've seen it before, as you said. However, I would have loved to see a retake. 9Z, none of their weapons were picked up. It was 3 pistols on this site to defend, so it could have been done, and that might have shattered the mental of Los Grandes even more, but 9Z, it's the smart call, it's the safe call, it's your game to lose, don't make mistakes, and so I cannot fault them for this whatsoever.
Yeah, I can't fault him. I think that's the right call. I think I would have done the same in that situation. Just minimize your losses there. Don't give them a free op. Don't give them a free rifle. Anything more than they already have. So, for 9Z, wise call. But now, they've given Los Grandes life again. They've given this team something to believe in, something to hold on to. And they're going to need Try to come up big with that saved AWP. There's a Tech 9 for Rocks. An MP9 and a FAMAS in the hands of Bit and Max. Utility's light for Los Grandes. The damage, at the very least a little bit, has gone back against 9Z in the early going.
Yes, it has, but Try still has Zop, as we mentioned. So, another opportunity to come in big here towards Secret. There are 4 players here. If you can get one and fall away, maybe a collateral if somehow that's on the cards. Let's see what happens here. Oh, a big miss, but no one's pressing forward. We'll get another spot. They know he's peeking yet again. Can they bait it out? No, they can't. They're going to go for the swing, and Try does get a kill eventually, and DGT's here to support. Here we go, 9Z. Holding things down for the time being, but Los Grandes are not turned away. They're still going to continue forward. Question is, can they find much? Landon finds the first onto DGT. Try just going to hold in the vents. This is a precarious spot indeed. Can he find Landon? Will he be flanked? Kaike wants to be the next point of contact. Try to finally find one, but Kaike's ready quickly from behind. 2 versus 2. Bit with the FAMAS is at bat. He'll find one, but he can't transfer the spray. Moth now in the 1 versus 1 clutch. Max only has an MP9, but he's already down the vents.
Opens the double door, Moth in the smoke, creeps out sideways and wins that duel. Max caught unawares. And Los Grandes, they've reset 9Z. They've got to within 2, and they're looking to go within 1 after this next round. This is exactly why you cannot allow the underdog to hang around, Nate. This is why you cannot allow Los Grandes to get some belief again. This team is starting to come alive. Big individual plays coming out again, and a great little play down towards B from Los Grandes. 9Z pistols and nothing else. A P250, a 5.7. That is it. And Los Grandes with the full rifle buy. A massive lack of utility again. But this should be more than enough to get a 9th on the board.
Yeah, they're lacking utility. They could have bought some more, but actually I think Kai might have actually bought his utility and already dumped quite a bit of it. However, as you mentioned, the rifle differential, the primary differential even, there's not even an SMG or a shotgun for 9Z, it's just pistols. We have seen pistol wins before, think about the second round of this half, but I don't think this is one of those rounds. Landon opens up the ramp, DGT taken down, and Tatazine does get dinked, but he'll maintain his composure and find one. Now, the numbers though, will they be his undoing? It seems like it. Max will finally spam him away. That is a Galil to work with, but still a lot to do, especially with that bomb going down.
I think Max should probably just try and go for whatever damage he can, keep the economy honest on Los Grandes, because the Galil, it's basically a slightly worse M4A4. So you might as well go do what you can with it. Try and thin out this T-side economy as much as possible. But 9Z seem content to save here. They don't want to go for anything too aggressive. Slight of a bit of an off-angle exit play here from Max, but nothing really too committed. And when you look for a little bit of maybe some good emotional response from 9Z, a little bit of aggression, they play very passive here. I'm wondering if they're going to call a timeout, because things are not looking too strong for 9Z. They're looking a little shaky. And if they lose this gun round, Nate, that's going to give Los Grandes the opportunity they need to ship us on to Overpass.
Yeah. Now, we both said, realistically, we thought 9Z might run away on the CT side. The T side of Nuke is very difficult to prepare. So we thought that would probably be their undoing for Los Grandes. But there was that small portion of our minds where it said that first half was more competitive than we expected. Maybe the second half will be the same. And, well, we are getting more of the same. This is an exciting one. 10-9, 9Z lead by 8. Hair's breadth. And Los Grandes, they're looking quite good here.
Looking very good. The individuals are coming online. Max is not going to be able to find anything. Moth gets a blind kill on to try. That Tazine and Kai making a 3v5. Now it's all down to DGTs. The rest of the squad has fallen for 9Z. And that's an explosive 8-take coming out from Los Grandes. No quarter given. And they're going to tie things up at 10 apiece. If you would have told me after Inferno that this would be a 10-10 scoreline, I would have called you nuts. I would have called you insane. But boy, are we being given a fantastic map of Counter-Strike between these two teams.
This is big. This is maybe Los Grandes' plan all along. Maybe they left and floated Nuke for exactly this reason. We called them a dark horse, and this is the exact reason why. We had no idea what to expect. We knew they were decent on it in previous matchups, but we could never have anticipated this. Convincing win, 10-10. Los Grandes in control right now on their T side, and what happens next is anyone's guess.
Yeah, I will not even fathom one. I don't want to try and guess. I'm just here along for the ride. I'm enjoying this one heavily right now. The battle from Los Grandes, 9Z looking shaken, looking like they've had their foundations cracked. And then you just see how Los Grandes get more and more aggressive, more and more confident, more and more accurate, and more lethal as things go by. Try. Just kind of scout. DGT on the hero rifle picks up Moth, but it's going to be enough to spark something back in return for 9Z. He has to fade away as the ramp room is now in the firm control of Los Grandes. Tag for Try. He will not get a second though. Kaike with the dome shot. And now the hell rotation is open for Los Grandes to go back towards the A site. That Tazine creeping forward towards Mini. Spots out 2, but he's only able to get 1 3v3. Health favoring the side of 9Z, but the weaponry advantage still heavily in favor of Los Grandes. Down towards B they'll go though. The bomb will go down momentarily, and you have to imagine that 9Z are going to go for the retake.
Yeah, they can recover a rifle. This was a half buy for a reason. No real point in saving those pistols. Maybe they get a rifle, you could justify it, but even then, they want to quickly get back onto the winning side of things. They're more than eager to do that. Here we go. Maxa one way over the smoke. A nice shot onto Landon, the heavy hitter. Does he find the second? Kaike spotted. That's the information at the very least as Kaike tries to fall away. Kaike, good bait to find one. Rocks though on CZ will find the first and DGT the second. There we go. 9Z back in the winner's column. The question is, can they continue to find success?
That's a heartbreak for Los Grandes. They did everything right. but DGT was just too strong. And that first kill by Max is what opens up that retake. Without that, I think Los Grandes win the round. But because Max finds that first player information onto the second, it gives 9Z the man advantage, a little more freedom to move around, and they exploit it to the fullest. A big half-buy win for 9Z, but a buy is coming in again from Los Grandes. Their money still somewhat strong across 3. Kai and Landon a little bit in the red zone here in terms of economy, but for 9Z, they have the out back for Try. I want to see him do something special with it. He's been kind of... I haven't really seen too much with the op on the CT side for him, and I want to see some aggressive plays with it to shut down Los Grandes and establish dominance again.
Would be nice. The op will try. Who will be the first contact? It will be Max, in fact. With the Molotov, he'll find 2. Tatazine and Moth, their kills go answered very quickly. And Tatazine's down to just 11 HP. Rox finds a 3rd. Tatazine on the lurk. He might just find his kill by virtue of timing, but no. Try is ever vigilant. He knows where the possibilities lie. And, well, he does catch out Tatazine in the nick of time. It's Landon the Opera with just an AK. No bomb in his control and 3 to find. He does have a minute to work with. But again, no bomb. He has a lot to do. He has to go out towards A. There's no option, and there are 3 eager players waiting towards the site.
9Z looking to take control back away from Los Grandes. They've given them life, but 9Z want to squash it out again. I like the lack of aggression here from the CT side, too. They're just waiting. They know that Landon has to make the play. They know that Landon is the one who has to make a move. 9Z just holding, waiting for a peek like that, and Rox delivers a nice headshot. 12 to 10 now, and the money, for the most part, gone on Los Grandes. They can go for a force here. Kaike will start that one off, AK in hand. Galil for Kai. What will Landon buy, I think, is the big question here. He could go for a scout. He could go for a MAC-10. AK's on 3. Utility is strong across those as well. MAC-10 for Landon, a smoke for Util. 9Z, their money starting to build across 2. But when you look at Bit, Rox, and Max, things are still dire.
Yes, they are. And again, never count out Los Grandes. They won pistol rounds. This buy is far better than just pistols, so chance of success. MAC-10 up above needs to be very careful, especially at range. Bit, just find an opening here on Tatazine. The steps are heard, though. And Bit might just get caught by timing here. Tatazine has been a nuisance on the lurk. Oh, he doesn't quite take the shot. There we go. He'll be given a second opportunity. Massive opening to find early on. Again, Tatazine is a nuisance on the lurk.
It's a big thorn on the side of 9Z. Kaike exchanging blows, down to 41 HP. Rox the same amount, but still the man advantage sits with the T side. Los Grandes looking to find another opening and try and get back into this game once again. Keep 9Z off that 13th score line. DGT, big spray for 1, but it's a one-and-done spot for him, but he cannot do the impossible. Get a second from that angle. Try flashed away. Smoked off now, and that gives Los Grandes a free window down to the B site. Tatazine still lurking around the outer yard. Rocks down the vents, looking to pick up something, stop a plant, anything he can do. And he'll have to pop open that door, but it's a safe back silo plant from Decon for Landon. And that's going to mean the post plant here for Los Grandes. Utility limited to a Molotov and a flashbang, but there's a smoke and a couple flashes for 9Z. Rox is in a good spot to catch Tatazine off. The very second spark something, but Tatazine delivers! Max has to trade, but that's just going to spur him forward. He'll spot out Moth. And I think that's going to be a save from 9Z. Los Grandes find it again, and they will not go quietly just yet.
Props to them as a new team holding their mental in check. They just keep on battling back. They're not letting 9Z win very many in a row. Again, the economy did get out of control, as you mentioned, for 1 or 2 players, but for the most part, 9Z have been kept in check. Los Grandes, props to them. Maybe this map ban was the master plan for them. So again, Nuke, yeah, it was picked by their opponents for crying out loud. Inferno, their pick, which we thought was going to be their only real shot, turns out it was just a flop. It was their second best, and they're more than happy to take it to Nuke.
And Overpass 2, Los Grandes have a 3-1 record.
Man.
That is a little concerning if you're a 9Z fan, and if you're 9Z in general. Los Grandes are really making a case for this map. Oh, that's a good spray by Bit, but Kaike turns the favor onto Rox. And they go down vents. Yes, they will. The bomb, it's on Moth, though. And it's working around towards ramp. Things are not calm for either side in this 4v4. Time still well in the favor of Los Grandes. DGT needs a big kill or two from this position on ramp, but he's going to be forced away. Bit falls on rotation, and the advantage swaps back towards Los Grandes. His try falls as well. Max with a good kill. DGT stands tall, but he falls shortly after. Max has the bomb, but he's in a 1v2. However, he does have the objective, and will Landon and Kaike have to retake this from a choke point that Max can hold.
This is going to be a difficult one. This is anybody's round. Max could win it with a nice double spray. The M4A1S, easier to transfer than most rifles, and of course it has the buff. However, Kaike is looking in his direction. Oh, he's overlooking the close cubby. The spray is belabored, but it will land, and he has the opportunity to reset. Landed 36 HP, trying to take the headshot duel. The USB is out. Desperation for the CT player as Max just tries to fall away. Oh, this is so awkward. Max will just reposition towards the vents. He is going to go for an early rotation towards B in hopes of catching Landon out. And this might just be a masterful outplay coming in from Max. Landon's back down on B. He'll go for the plant here shortly. He's going to stick it, and the door's already open. This is perfect for Max. He plays it to perfection in the clutch. That is massive from him to get away and reposition. A very proactive approach, and one that nets 9Z a 13th.
Huge play from Max in the 1v2. Things got very messy for him, especially on that second engagement, but he does the outplay. The doors being open are a gift from the heavens for him. And Los Grandes, so close and yet so far from striking again at the jugular of 9Z. Instead of being a tie game, it's a 13-11. And Los Grandes are on a forced spy. Moth with the op. Moth with the op. That's an interesting call here. He has armor. I think Landon only had enough for the AWP, so he's going to get that op over to his teammate, go for a Glock and nothing else. Bit outside, trying to be a little bit of a snake in the grass. Back in the back lines. Try, lets the first cross go. Now he gets the bomb. He's waiting for the next peek, but Moth demolishes him. Tetazine finds Bit, and that's going to open up a lot of space for Los Grandes here. 9Z left reeling once again.
A big question mark for me on Landon just the Glock when he's the top of the server, or at least the top of his team. But it's worked out thus far. Moth getting the kill off the spot from his teammate, jumping across, and well, Los Grandes just entering into A. All 5 players remaining. Landon has the opportunity to recover a weapon somewhere, I'm sure. And 9Z are already probably left to save. Nothing much else they can do. Los Grandes, they take a mile out of every inch. They will not let 2 rounds in a row go the way of 9Z.
This is an incredible battle from Los Grandes. What a shot by Moth to open things up. Then Tatazine gets the free kill onto Bit as he's distracted by the Yopper. It just works out so well for Los Grandes, and they're not going to hunt either. They don't have a lot of money. They're just going to pick up whatever weapons they have, as they had a couple pistols into that round, including the Glock again on Landon. And now for Los Grandes, they come again within 1 round. They're not going to be able to take out the AK of Max. He'll be able to save from this position. DGT will save the M4 as well. But this is anything but a comfortable game from 9Z. And again, when you look at their success on this map, when you look at their history here on Nuke, you would have thought this would have been a wash. But Los Grandes are showing another level of understanding, another level of play. They're going to call a timeout too, interestingly enough. I'm very curious as to why they're calling with the momentum. There has to be a reason why. Maybe there's a special strat they want to call here. But either way, Los Grandes are showing a massive performance, living up to their name.
This is a grand performance, you're right. Pause has been called by Los Grandes as well. So they're talking things out, they're calming down, they're figuring out what they want to do. They obviously have shown us that they have a lot in their skill book or in their strat book. So let's see if they can pull out something else that's interesting. 9Z, they're pulling out something desperate as well. They're forcing around those rifles. MP9s and a scout, far from ideal, but it can get the job done. Never say never. That's something I've learned in this matchup.
Yeah, you can never count out either of these teams, and that's kind of something you have to love about the South American scene, is that there's always this bit of anyone can win on any given Sunday action that you don't get in a lot of other regions. So right now for Los Grandes, they're trying to be the giant killers. They're trying to be the ones to take out the arguably one of the best teams at the very least in their region. And for 9Z, They're just trying to stay alive and avoid going to a third. Because the thing about a closed qualifier, double elimination bracket, when you're playing 2 BO3s a day and you need to make it into the final, this is a war of attrition too. This is a war of how long you can survive and how much mental energy you need to expend to get to the next level. And when you are 9Z, your expectation is to make it into or ESL Anaheim, excuse me. And that is your job. Oh, what a nade. That's a chunky boy on the kite. That the Zine and Moth. More utility going to come through. Here's Los Grandes creep their way down in towards the B site. But is there going to be enough resistance from 9Z to hold them off? Doors should be opening momentarily.
Bit close and personal with the MP9. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place, though. This is going to be awkward indeed. Max, though, on the flank, does find one. Drops a rifle for his teammates. DGT finds one as well. The MP9, though, with too many directions to look, falls to his counterpart. Kai wins that duel, and we're back to even footing. 3 versus 3. That AK towards the trophy room hasn't been picked up either. However, critically, the bomb plan hasn't gone down, and Max has pushed through the ramp. Somehow he's made something out of nothing. Landon, the up and uncharacteristic miss, falls as well. Suddenly, the round crumples for Los Grandes. 9Z, the desperate buy, works out off of the heroics of Max. That is a massive 3K for him to find, and 9Z have penultimate series point here.
They are edging closer, but it's always these sorts of impeccable rounds. These rounds you need to win that Los Grandes show that they are they are fighters. They don't give up. They get backed into a corner, and they will fight back with everything they have to stay alive in the situation. And this is another one of those, almost the most important round of this game in their case of staying alive. Obviously, if there's a 15th on the board for 9Z and Los Grandes are too far away from catching up to that scoreline, then of course those rounds are going to have a little more importance than this one. But right now, this is their chance to keep 9Z off of that match point. But Try's only able to get one, and DGT has fallen out towards ramp. Try rotating in, going to run into Kaike. The spray is almost perfect. Try is so low on health, but he's got 5 HP, and he can still fight with the op. Bit holding down from ramp. He's got the bomb and 2 kills to his name. He might even have a third as Kaike is pushing. Just Landon and Kaike going in. Landon has the headshot, 3v2, and Try is low. But here comes Rox. He's unable to deliver. It's down to Max. He's got the bomb, and Landon has to clutch up. He's been the star man so far for Los Grandes, but he needs to be even brighter and better. He sprays down one, but it takes a lot of damage. One shot will do it for each player. Bomb goes up towards A. Smoke onto site, but is Landon going to go back down to B? He's going to try and big brain this one. Tries on his way to the upper site. In the meantime, though, Landon's going lower. He's going to get a free plant and be able to post up in this 1v1 to keep 9Z off of 15.
Good idea from Landon. Gives him some extra space to get into that post plant's position. And he has the right idea. He's sitting ramp. He knows, at least it looks like he knows, that Try is not coming down the ramp. Op versus AK. Try, does he know how lit Landon is? I'm sure Landon knows how lit the Opera is. They saw the engagement earlier. And it's a 1 bullet round, as you said. So many seconds have ticked by. Try doesn't even know where he is. He's going to cut his losses. He's going to run away. He knows it's near impossible. Landon as well will save his AK for the next round. Los Grandes off the back of a huge clutch and experience coming through for Landon. 13-14, yet again a 1-round game.
Also, we haven't talked about it, but Max is at 29 kills.
Is he?
He's at 29 and 14.
When did that happen?
He's had an incredible performance. He's been there every single time for 9Z, but I didn't think he had that many kills.
He's the rock.
106.
He's the man in the back, kind of figuring things out, clutching it up. He's the rock, and I think, it doesn't need to be flashy. When he has the impact he has, it's evident, it's apparent that he's the one really keeping 9Z level-headed and still in this one.
And look at this buy from 9Z. I guess I should say lack thereof. A 5-7, a Zeus, and the saved op.
And the kit.
Well, that was saved. But
yeah, but it could be important here,
Yeah. Try needs to stand tall. He's in the fire! And the fire will roast him. Zeus comes up for one. Try will knock down another. Man advantage at the very least meantime for 9Z. But again, the weaponry disadvantage is so massive. And Tata Zine is still lurking around, waiting for anyone to peek out of a foxhole. Los Grandes don't need to go anywhere. They just need to hold. Down towards B, perhaps, or back towards A. What is the play?
Only time will tell, but Tatazine getting all the way up towards hell. Oh, time is everything. He might get spotted. He does, but the kills are belabored. The shots are, rather. USP will finally get it done. That's a massive kill to find, and a lot of information. Landon dink down as well, taken out by the pistols. Suddenly, this eco round has legs, but they still only have the pistols. Moth in the clutch. He's got the first. It's clean as well. He has the bomb on his back, but 2 more to find. And well, they could have covered a lot of ground by now. They could even have rifles for all he knows.
There's a lot at stake here for Moth and for Los Grandes. They need to win this round. They cannot afford to lose this round. They need it desperately. Rox reveals his position, but also the fact that he's not using a rifle. But the op has been picked up for DGT. Moth back towards the catwalk, holding an angle, waiting for anyone to walk out of radio. He'll now creep forward, splitting and yin-yanging with the opposition. He can get the backstab on DGT and set himself up perhaps for this one. There's a lineup! There's a lineup! And Moth is gonna clutch up! 14-14! We're going again! Massive plays from the Moth!
All 30 required at this point. That is a huge play, perfectly timed on the flank to the exact spot that he was spammed at from prior. Good intuition to go for that push. Isolates that first duel and actually just blindsides them both outright. Very well done. As we now have a pause coming out from the likes of 9Z.
I like this timeout call from 9Z, but I think it's been a long time coming, Nate. They are not a team that likes to use timeouts whatsoever. They do not call these timeouts. And now, when you're coming down to the last couple rounds of regulation, when you're coming in to where every round means that much more, they take their time, they talk over things, and they're going to try and figure out what's been going wrong. But Los Grandes, they are showing some grand form. They are looking so well versed on this map. And there's no real shakiness from them anymore. We saw a lot of it on Inferno, but here on Nuke, they're smooth and steady as she goes. Bit aggressive with some utility though. He's gonna spray down the first. That's a big pickup onto a big thorn.
That's a big change of pace, and that's what happens when you have a deep strat book. Something completely out of the blue could throw off your opponents, and look at this. Everything's going 9Z's way. It's just Landon, the Yopper. 27 kills to his name in the 1 versus 5. The world against him. And if he loses this op, well, the economy will be in shambles for this T side.
Already, it's not looking good for Los Grandes. Things are looking very, very bad. Landon creeping forward, looking for any bit of options, but it's a backstab from Try that comes in. 15-14. We get to us match and series point in the favor of 9Z. And Los Grandes are going to be back against the wall again. Tech 9s, pistols, armor, with everything to lose.
You've seen it happen before, Boggs. They've done it. It's this team, Los Grandes. They've done it at least twice, if not more, in this series. So if there was a team to put your money on in this round 30, it would be this team before the pistol buy.
I would agree with that one. They've been so potent on these fast, explosive plays. And they're going to go down the secret tunnels in towards B. DGT is the one to try and hold them off. Bits down the vents. He sprays down one, but only one. Rifle donated into the hands of Los Grandes. In comes DGT. Spots out 2. He sprays down 1, but he's taking quite a bit of damage. Kai closes the gap, but he checks the wrong angle. Free double kill for DGT at this point, and that could spell the end of Los Grandes in the upper bracket. Nade comes in onto Landon. Rox finishes off Kaike, and it's 9Z getting themselves this 2-0 victory and a spot in the upper bracket final.
It took all 30, but they did get there in the end. The experience prevails, and I must say that round 29 was where everything kicked off.
That timeout was critical for 9Z. It's why I've been saying call the timeouts so many times for them. Call the timeout here, settle it down. If they would use that timeout earlier, probably wouldn't.